brothers, we are back with another insane build video here featuring the Vanguard class. Now, if you're a fan of the melee combat in Space Marine 2, then this is the build for you. Not only does it excel in melee combat, but this build is going to be extremely versatile in the range department as well. This build is going to be focusing on the extensive melee capabilities of the Vanguard class. We're going to be utilizing the combat knife to the full potential here. Before we get into this build video, do me the biggest favor, slap that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's get into this craziness. Our primary weapon of choice is going to be the Instigator Bolt Carbine. Now, I know a lot of you guys watching this are immediately going to think, why not the Melt-A-Gun? Well, let me tell you, do not sleep on this weapon. I feel like the Instigator Bolt Carbine really turns the Vanguard into an extremely versatile class, and he's kind of capable of dealing with anything in the game. So when it comes to your weapon of choice in the Relic tier, I ended up just going for the one that gave me the most firepower. Getting into the perks for this bad boy, we're using Headhunter. You're going to be getting 10% more damage for headshots. We pick up Efficient Hunter. After reloading while having low ammo, headshots deal 35% more damage for 5 seconds. We pick up Fast Reload just to get a little extra reload speed. We go for Finisher Reload. After a Finisher, the equipped weapon instantly reloads. This perk comes in super clutch, man, especially as a Vanguard since we're going to be up close most of the time. We're rocking Fast Regeneration. Killing an enemy restores armor 0.5 seconds earlier. We get this one right up here. Headshots deal an additional 10% more damage. We're already stacking 20% headshot damage with this bad boy. We pick up Great Might. Damage increases by 10% against terminus enemies. Increased capacity. This kind of makes all magazine weapons bugged with ammo. You basically have infinite ammo in this gun, and all you need to do to refill the ammo is simply switch to your secondary weapon and then swap right back to this, and it's going to refill your ammo by 20% every single time. We pick up Cleaving Fire. Shots will penetrate enemy block stances, dealing 25% of the usual damage, and that's about it. We kind of stray away from the Relic perks. I mean, I don't think they're the most useful. You don't really need to pick up any perks that kind of decrease weapon spread or reduce your recoil, because the way the Instigator Bolt Carbine works, it's a 3-shot burst, and this thing is hella accurate. For our secondary weapon, we're going with the Bolt Pistol. Unfortunately, this is the only secondary weapon Vanguard's able to use, but it's pretty freaking good. For the perks, we got Great Might, extra damage against terminus enemies. We have Retaliation. After a perfectly timed dodge, you deal 25% more damage for 5 seconds. We got Iron Grip. After a gun strike, recoil is reduced by 35% for 5 seconds. We got Divine Might. Damage increases by 10%. You always want to get that damage increase. We got Extended Magazine. Magazine size increases by 15% of the maximum. We go for more headshot damage. We pick up Elite Hunter. After killing a Majora's level or higher enemy with a melee weapon, headshots deal 50% more damage for 5 seconds. And then we finish this tree off here with another Headhunter. Even more headshot damage. For the star of the show, the combat knife. This is what makes the name of this build the Blade Dancer. Now, usually when I'm choosing a melee weapon, I almost always go for the fencing type weapons, but in this case for Vanguard, you can actually pick up a balance type weapon, and you can basically get the benefits of the fencing parry window as well. I'll explain to you after we go over these perks. But just make sure you pick up this combat knife specifically, the balanced one. It's going to give you the most speed, and you're going to be able to mow down the enemies in lightning fast speed. For the perk tree, we got melee damage increased by 5%. We got kinetic energy. Each consecutive heavy attack increases heavy attack melee damage by 3% up to 30% for 3 seconds. Now, in case you guys don't know, the combat knife actually has a heavy combo loop. If you hold your melee attack, you start going into these like whirlwind spinning attacks. You just start spamming lights after the first heavy, and you'll continuously spin with the combat knife, hence the Blade Dancer, and the damage is going to be stacking up like crazy. We go for more melee damage, even more melee damage. We got Shoulder Bash. We have extra damage against Tyrannid enemies, extra damage against Chaos enemies, and then we finish this perk tree off with Reeling Blow. Enemies hit by Whirlwind Slash deal 30% less damage for 4 seconds. Cooldown is 10 seconds. With this perk right here, Reeling Blow, basically when you're in the fray of battle and you're just blade dancing all over the place, you're going to be getting so much damage negation because of this perk. It is ridiculous. I literally almost have over 200 hours in this game, and I've been testing a lot of perk trees for the different weapons, and I gotta say, I've had the most fun with this style right here, specifically for the Vanguard class. Now, for the meat and potatoes of the build, the actual class perk tree, this is where stuff gets very spicy. We're going to be going with Moving Target. Each melee melee attack you land reduces the range damage you take by 1%. If you do not land a melee attack for 3 seconds, the effect ends. This perk right here allows you to stay in the thick of the battle for a long time. I feel like one of the biggest threats in Space Marine 2, especially in operation modes, is going to be range units. And being able to get an additional 15% damage negation towards range damage, it's pretty big in a game like this. So definitely go with moving target for this build. You're going to see how everything just synergizes here. Now, this second core perk is huge and kind of ties this build into place. You're going to go for Duelist. It's going to be increasing your perfect parry window by 50%. So now remember how I was talking about earlier going for the balance type melee weapon for the combat knife and not the fencing? Well, grabbing this perk here, Duelist, basically turns your balance knife into a fencing knife. So you're going to get the benefits of the crazy speed off of that knife, and you're going to get the benefits of Duelist that just turns it into a straight beast up close. For the third core perk, you want to go for consecutive execution. The team perk, we're going to go with melee champion. All squad members deal 15% more melee damage. Now, I know a lot of you people are going to be thinking, why not inner fire? Because I know this perk is huge for team play. Just with the theme of this build, it made more sense to go with melee champion. You're going to see in the gameplay, man, it really gives you a lot more pack for your punch, and it's going to allow you to deal with the Minoris and Majoris enemies a lot faster. Right here, we go with Restless Fortitude. After a dive kick, you take 10% less range damage for 10 seconds. This synergizes perfectly with moving target. We're going to be grabbing Tip of the Spear. Enemies hit by dive kick take 15% more range damage for 10 seconds. We go for Thrill of the Fight. After a perfectly timed parry or dodge, you take 15% less health damage for 3 seconds. You're going to be able to survive some of the toughest encounters you run into in these operation missions. And then to finish off this perk tree, we go with Adrenaline Rush. This is probably one of the best perks in the game. Melee kills of Majoris or higher enemies restore health by 1%. This perk right here, tied in with everything else and your melee capabilities, is going to keep you alive in the fight literally the entire match. If you play the Vanguard correctly, man, I think it is really difficult to take this class down. And that's the build. I think it excels in all departments. The Vanguard kind of built this way can deal with anything in the game. Factoring the precision of the bolt carbine, the ferocity of the combat knife, you're going to be a killing machine with this build. Now, as always, we do have gameplay on the hardest difficulty, Ruthless. This gameplay is going to kind of give you an idea of how you want to play the build, how you want to approach some of the battles. Let's get into this insane Vanguard Blade Dancer gameplay.
Retaking those sectors is a lost cause. Bombardment from orbit risks collateral damage, so we need a more targeted approach. Commandeer a Nova Cannon implosive warhead from the Navy supplies in the Astra Militarum depot and deliver the payload by rail. We shall collapse the superstructure from below.
Mobilizing towards the depot now, Lieutenant Titus. Watching Xenos, vermin. Sandstorm, blotting out our visibility.
The battle disturbs Abarax's arid landscape. Dust squalls can arise with little warning. If conditions obscure the path, look for the flashing guideposts.
Finished and ready. No storms, they are.
Advance when it is cleared.
compromise in combat.
Activate the quartermaster's console and wait for the sheets. Instructed to load the explosive warhead onto the train and assist it when necessary.
Disappointing! Magazine out! Magazine in! Xenos scattered mine! Ammunition expended! Waste nothing, brothers! Transfer Nova Cannon explosive warhead to the supply train.
Notification. Requesting operator in Sector B.
Process is stalled. Find that console.
Shut them up before they bring more. Magazine out, magazine in.
Authorization to dispatch payload to this ground.
One down. Trillions to go. Lieutenant Titus, we are sending the payload to the train terminal now.
Good. Escort the payload to the train.
The cogitator shows me a transport lift we may utilize. The only thing better than a chainsaw reloading magazine is two chainsaws.
You recite the Codex well, but what of the scriptures?
I joined the brother chapter to know that.
There are many hours. I can see the recite
Swapping out magazine. Magazine out, magazine in. And ready. Schematics in our possession. Brace for another storm. Arming up. Finally through that damn grate. Our banner awaits unfurled. We entrust such power into the hands of mere servitors. Keep a tight formation. We do not want to get separated. Get the rest of your problem. Reloading. Finally through that damn grate. Survey the terrain, mother. Finally through that damn grate. Magazine out! Magazine in!
Where shall I plant this flag?
I thought we would have encountered more Xenos by now.
Obstruction detected. Removal is required to commence.
It shall be done. Our pathway is open. Banner, ready to deploy. Ready and ready. Skims, take some. Reloading.
Terminatorial weapons transfer. 3639 coding complete. Manifest updated.
Silence them! support too often.
Worried that I will steal all the glory.
I'm worried for those who will have to retrieve your gene seed from the thick of the enemy. Where shall I plant this flag?
Reap the Emperor's woes. The Codex demands action.
We are Bastion and Blade. Lieutenant Titus, the ordnance is
Good. Deploying.
Stay there. Died the way it lived. Under my boot.
waste nothing, brothers.
Reloading.
Launching payload.
Initiating charging cycle. Departmental regulatory penalties will be assessed.
Tomasa, I have multiple swarms moving to your location. You have their attention. Deal with them swiftly. We will not get another shot at this.
Tyranids on the open tracks. Let us crush them with an engine.
Cogitating proposition. There are engines in service that may be routed along the parallel tracks. Route changes may be made by a dispatcher at the track's control tower.
Swapping out magazine. Bang and flying foe. Damn Xenos! Win up the train!
Dispatching engine. Ensure all services are away from the rails. Rail shift completed. Central conflicts detected. Changes suspended.
Fault in charging system detected. Engine seer requested to perform rites of restoration.
Link your armor to the Mechanicus device. You will need to keep close proximity to the charging station until the reset is complete.
Perform the rites of restoration at the afflicted charging station's machine interface, and the circuits will be reset. If the problem persists, seek a qualified engine seer for holy maintenance. Engine seer. An emergency maintenance request is awaiting your immediate attention.
Stand in for a take move today.
Arming up. Urge the aim of the surge. Replenished and ready. Just that so much for brothers.
Establishing diagnostic connection. Dispatcher, the engine is charged and prepared for departure.
Deploy immediately.
As you command.
Smells like fresh munitions.
Detonation in 5. Brace for shockwave. See those bioscans. Mission successful, Thompson. Return to the battle patch.
Hey, just coming back to let you guys know, if you enjoyed this video, do me a big favor, slap that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Also, we live stream on Twitch just about every day, so come and say hi.